Caitlin Clark says, how do you say bang in Portuguese? It don't matter! Bang! For a preseason game, they flew up from Brazil, lost by 64, and got to make TikToks with Caitlin Clark after the game. Where do I sign up? Bang! Not sure why they played the game in Iowa, because Caitlin Clark, she was still shooting the shot from South America, baby! Bang!
Caitlin Clark was left stunned, and not because she just nailed another logo 3 or shattered a record. No, this time it was something far more unexpected. The entire Brazilian national team and their head coach delivered a wave of jaw-dropping praise that even the most composed player in the league didn't see coming.
The team were lining up to get autographs. She signed their jerseys. They were getting them to sign. They were getting her to sign their jerseys. She was signing the players' jerseys. This is like Dream Team. This is literally like Dream Team stuff. We haven't seen this since the damn Dream Team. She is literally signing the jerseys of teams she played against. She is signing their jerseys. They're that much in awe of her.
This wasn't your run-of-the-mill compliment. It was a moment so powerful, it felt like a mic drop in real time. Clark stood there blinking like, wait, did that actually just happen? Imagine being called out with the kind of raw, public admiration that could define an entire career. That's how deep it went. And here's where it gets wild. Angel Reese played against the exact same team just days before and got zero love. That stings. Let us know where you're tuning in from, because the Caitlin Clark fan base is global. And this moment proved it.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Are you an amazing player? Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're changing the history in basketball.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming here.
Let's pause for a second and think about this. Brazil, a nation known for samba, soccer legends, and unmatched pride, just added Caitlin Clark to their list of global obsessions. And this wasn't some high-stakes tournament. It was a preseason exhibition game. Yet Caitlin's presence was so magnetic, so commanding, she warped the gravity of the entire match. Their head coach, a veteran who's probably seen every era of basketball, responded like he'd just witnessed the second coming of Jordan, only in ponytail form. This wasn't praise, it was basketball worship.
The team she played against last night, and I understand a lot of this team was young, but the team she played against last night, getting pictures with Caitlin Clark at the end of the game, having her literally sign their jerseys, and those jerseys, you better believe, the coach of the rival team being in shock. Like, this is the dream team. This is the dream team. This is the opponents getting pictures with the dream team.
This wasn't just about talent. It was about aura. It was like watching old Olympic teams where the opponents asked for photos afterward. Only this time, the praise didn't stop with handshakes. The Brazilian coach practically carved her name in marble. This wasn't washed-up nostalgia from a talking head. It was sincere, elite-level respect. He spoke about her like she'd stepped out of mythology, picked up a basketball, and descended onto the court. And in a country that treats soccer like a sacred ritual, that kind of recognition, it's next level.
Brazil, their coaching, had no answer whatsoever for Caitlin Clark. And they threw so many different looks at her. Like, I've never seen a team throw so many different looks at a player.
And just when you thought the moment couldn't get more iconic, after the game, Caitlin Clark didn't sprint to the locker room like most stars. She stuck around. She signed a Brazilian national team jersey at their request. Let that sink in. Caitlin Clark, the face of basketball's new era, autographed their team jersey like it was nothing. That wasn't a signature. That was history in ink. That was Da Vinci signing the Mona Lisa. And the best part? She did it with grace. No sunglasses, no attitude, no delays. Just class. While Angel Reese is online blocking fans and saying she's Too busy for the little moments. Caitlin is out here signing international goodwill deals with a pen.
There you go. Yeah, that's one, guys. Yeah,
Go viral with that shot.
I
know, I'm crazy. After you do that, can we do a TikTok video?
Just hours before tip-off, Brazil's players were goofing around in warm-ups, mimicking Caitlin Clark's signature deep threes like they were filming a comedy sketch. But once the game ended, that playful energy turned into full-blown fandom. They rushed her like teenagers at a pop concert, phones out, eyes wide, angling for selfies and signatures like she was basketball's version of Beyoncé.
Like we know that we can be the best front court in this league, so just trying to do the best as we can. I think in this offseason we got the shooters that we needed, and as you can see tonight, we have some great shooters out there, which just spaces out for both of us. So I think we're in a great direction.
Then came the moment everyone was waiting for. Caitlin walked on the court and did exactly what Brazil had tried to imitate, draining a long-range three with such effortless style that it pulled gasps from the crowd. She wasn't showboating. She wasn't playing it up for the cameras. She just delivered, like always. And as Brazil's players stood frozen in awe, it hit them. They weren't just watching greatness. They were inside the highlight reel. Not as stars, as background blur, in a moment that'll live in every WNBA montage for the next decade.
Across the footage of the Brazilian national team dancing on Caitlin Clark logo at Carver Arena. Man, a lot of people had mixed reviews about it. Well, it looked like that wasn't the only clip because the entire team got in on the action, bruh. Got in on the jumping on Caitlin Clark logo, stomping on it.
That's the Caitlin Clark difference. While others chase clout with social media drama or short-lived endorsement deals, she's out here rewriting what WNBA dominance looks like. Brazil didn't just respect her, they admired her. They saw something bigger than talent. They saw a generational force. And really, how could they not?
They were there. They were knocking her on her ass a couple of times. They were being physical. They were denying her. They didn't try to stop during the game. They just did not have it. They're so excited. They're taking pictures with her after the game. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures with her like... It is...
Now contrast that with Angel Reese. When she faced Brazil, there were no autograph mobs, no emotional coach speeches, no national treasures being handed over to be signed. Just another game and a few missed shots. See, respect in this league isn't demanded online. It's earned on the hardwood. And as harsh as it sounds, Reese hasn't sparked that same kind of reverence. While Caitlin's out here being honored like royalty, Reese is still campaigning for her moment. Problem is, you can't talk your way into greatness. You've got to show it.
Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to get through real quick. Sorry about that. Bang!
Excuse me, ma'am, hold on. I think you dropped something. Oh, it's a dime.
Floater, look at that. Big it, bang, boom, 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 bang. And her misses are majestic and set up her teammates for success. Look at this soft bounce off the rim, put back by her teammate. Bang! Just stand in the corner, clap your heels together 3 times and cut to the basket. Caitlin Clark will find you every single time.
While Reese's team is probably glued to Twitter watching their mentions explode, Caitlin Clark is soaking in global applause, quietly, confidently. She didn't chase the spotlight. She became the spotlight. From Iowa to São Paulo, the world now knows the truth. Caitlin isn't just a phenom. She's a global movement. Brazil didn't see a rising star. They saw a once-in-a-generation force. When she steps onto the floor, the entire atmosphere shifts. The room changes. And if Angel Reese wants to know what that feels like, she'll need to do more than practice. Her poses. Because, let's be honest, there's a reason Brazil didn't scramble for photos with Reese. There's a reason her highlights didn't trend internationally. Caitlin Clark doesn't just play the game, she elevates it. And while Reese talks like she's the face of the league. Caitlyn's already delivering standing ovations in multiple languages.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
And let's not forget, she only played 18 minutes. That's less time than a single episode of a sitcom. But in that short stretch, Caitlin Clark turned the floor into her personal classroom. Every touch was a masterstroke. Every pass looked like it belonged in a museum. She came in, ran the show, and dipped quicker than one of Angel Reese's half-hearted PR cleanups, and still left the biggest impression on the night. By the final buzzer, it felt like we just watched a full-season highlight reel. And she barely broke a sweat.
Oh boy, did that feel good. Did that feel good from Caitlin Clark opening up the game, pull-up three, bang, to the logo three to close the third quarter, walking off to a standing ovation. Caitlin Clark pulling up from 36 feet out. From start to finish, there was never a doubt in our mind. There was never a time where we even thought to ourselves, is this game going to be close? Indiana comes out, 8-0 run. Close out the first quarter, close out the second quarter, close out the third quarter, sit our starters in the fourth quarter, and by the time it's all said and done, the Indiana Fever score more than double the Brazilian national.
That right there is the Caitlin Clark effect. Most stars need the full 40 minutes to leave a mark. Caitlin? She just needs a window. She doesn't demand the spotlight. It naturally bends toward her. And once Brazil got a sample, they dropped the act and joined the global chorus, singing, "One truth, Caitlin Clark isn't just here. She's unavoidable."
Our first look at Caitlin Clark in her second WNBA season, and she did not disappoint. She was raining threes, her handle looked tighter than ever, her vision was on point, and she brought this energy, and she brought the crowd, and everything was just electric because she was on the court.
There's a special kind of satisfaction when you figure out a puzzle and feel like a genius. Caitlin gave fans that vibe for 18 minutes straight. Except she wasn't solving problems. She was creating them. While defenders scrambled to decide which way to rotate, she had already drawn up the next 3 moves. It was like she had predictive software running in her head. Her court vision wasn't just sharp, it was supernatural. She moved like a chess master, while everyone else was still playing checkers on dial-up.
But all in all, Caitlin Clark with a plus 42. She played 18 minutes. She played 18 minutes and was plus 42. Plus 42. 42 in 18 minutes. And there was a stage where it was her with all the rookies and she was still just carrying them. She got 2 assists to, I think, to an Yvonne Ejim. 1 foul, 3 turnovers to 5 assists.
Meanwhile, while Angel Reese was probably somewhere doom-scrolling and brainstorming another misunderstood queen tweet, Caitlin was orchestrating a masterclass in graceful dominance. This wasn't about racking up 40 points for the cameras. It was about precision. She didn't need to drop a flashy stat line. She just let the game unfold like she'd written the script. Every movement had purpose. Every shot, pass, and cut felt like it was pulled from a curated montage. She knew 18 minutes was all it would take to set the place on fire. And she lit the match.
108-44, Caitlin Clark. Did she look rusty? I don't know. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, plus 42, plus minus in only 19 minutes of hoops. Caitlin Clark hoops are back. She looked good, folks.
Other players were out there sweating buckets, fighting for relevance like their job depended on it. Caitlin? She looked like she could have called time out for a cold brew. What she delivered wasn't just control, it was command. The whole game bent around her, not because she forced it to, but because her presence demanded it. She didn't chase stats. Stats gravitated toward her, desperate to be part of the storyline. Caitlin doesn't just hoop. She redefines what smart, instinctive, electrifying basketball looks like. And everyone else? They either level up or get exposed. And trust us, plenty are getting exposed.
And honestly, I didn't plan to shoot that logo three. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the third, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low. But I was like, why not? Might as well launch one, and it went in, and then Steph used the timeout to get me out. But yeah, that was pretty.
When Brazil's head coach locked eyes with what was unfolding on the court, you could practically see the panic settling in behind his eyes. This guy has coached through entire eras. He's seen phenoms, champions, prodigies. But when Caitlin Clark drilled that cold-blooded step-back three, it was like the basketball universe rewired itself. For a moment, it looked like he was having an internal meltdown, wondering if everything he thought he knew about the game just got rewritten in real time. You could almost hear his inner monologue. Am I witnessing evolution? Should we rename a street in Sao Paulo after her?
Bang! Nope, we don't have moose tracks, no cookie dough either. Don't even ask about cookies and cream. I'll tell you what we do have, though. This is the locals' favorite. They always want 2 scoops, not 1 scoop. Butter pecan! Bang! Oh yeah, she's like that. You're too long. Hey, let's go.
And honestly, that wouldn't be out of pocket. If he went back home and suggested a National Caitlin Clark Day, the Brazilian parliament might just nod and pass it unanimously. Jerseys would sell out. Fever games would air like primetime soccer matches. Because this wasn't just a preseason exhibition. It was a global announcement. A seismic reminder to anyone still doubting her. The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is not hype. It's reality. And if you're a coach who can watch that performance and not give her her flowers, you might need a mirror, a pulse check, and a better understanding of greatness. Because this level of talent doesn't beg for attention. It commands it.
We want to compete, we want to be our best, we want to compete at a high level. We've got edgy players, we've got competitive players, and I guarantee you it doesn't matter if we're playing cards or if we're playing basketball. They want to win. And they want to do what it takes to win and position themselves to win. So I love that about this group. It means that we don't waste time in practice. They don't waste reps. They don't waste moments we have to get better. And it really is a joy to coach.
And yes, before the Angel Reese defenders start typing, passion's cute. But execution? That's elite. Caitlin didn't just put up numbers, she put on a clinic. While Reese was firing off cryptic tweets, Caitlin was out here signing national jerseys with the grace of a world ambassador. That's not just PR, that's proof. The Brazilian players didn't leave embarrassed. They left inspired. They didn't feel dunked on. They felt witnessed. That's the power of Caitlin Clark. She doesn't crush you. She converts you.
Yeah, I thought it was electric. It's what you've seen, whether it's from the outside on television or being here broadcasting, but to actually feel the energy. I mean, it is a thing when you talk about having a six man, so to speak, crowd energy. It gives you a lift, it gives you a boost. It's why we all do what we do, like to feed into these kinds of environments. And so it was a lot of fun.
Let's just keep it real. There's a reason Angel Reese doesn't have national teams chasing her down for selfies and keepsakes. She's got sub-tweets and spin. Caitlin? She's got fans, stats, and entire countries asking for her autograph. There's a massive difference between calling yourself the face of the league and actually being it. One's booking endorsement shoots, the other's booking flights for global takeovers. One is all talk. The other, all time. By the end of that game, one question echoed through the gym like a drumbeat. Did we just witness the future?
I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and you know, they have a great impact on me too, and you know, that's why you do it. You know, even at the end of the day, say I scored 0 points, I'm sure they still would have been there screaming my name and wanting an autograph, and I think that just really kind of puts into perspective the impact, and you know, there's a lot more bigger things in life than basketball.
No, what you saw was the now, the standard, the storm. Her name? Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. Meanwhile, while Angel Reese is still campaigning for her respect, Caitlin's collecting it, internationally. Because when you're truly that special, the ovations don't wait until you get home. They follow you. No matter what court you're on. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from so the CC fandom can represent across the globe. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment. Click the video on your screen. We'll see you in the next one.